Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
And there's been a big shake-up in Labor ranks, with new leader Dean Winter unveiling his shadow cabinet. Nearly every portfolio has changed hands in an attempt to refresh the party's image.
A week into his new job as leader, Dean Winter's given his team a massive makeover.
Having just lost our 4th election in a row, it's clear that we need to change some things, and so this reshuffle represents very significant change.
He passes the Shadow Energy portfolio to Janie Finlay. Josh Willey hands Education to Sarah Lovell and becomes the Shadow Treasurer.
My job is pretty simple for a very complex portfolio, and that is to help Tasmanians understand that this Liberal government are not good economic managers.
Deputy Leader Anita Dow takes on shadow roles in local government and infrastructure. Ella Haddad, now health spokesperson.
We've got the worst ambulance waiting times, we've got significant wait times for elective surgery. This is a portfolio that I'm very passionate about.
Former leader Rebecca White will be the Shadow Attorney General, as well as a new position, Shadow Minister for Integrity.
The reason that Jeremy Rockliff's last government fell apart isn't because of John or Lara, it's because of his performance on integrity and transparency. We need to keep holding them to account on those issues.
Whether it's shuffling deck chairs or setting up a winning formation, time will tell. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian MPs will return to Parliament on May 14, with the budget delivered on September 12. Releasing the updated sitting schedule, Jeremy Rockliff also revealed question time will no longer see the government ask itself questions termed Dorothy Dix's. Ben Yole has been given a week to save his harness racing career. Tas Racing taking action against the trainer accused of race fixing. Introducing a new policy, hoping to smooth out what's been a bumpy road for the industry.
Another twist in the Ben Yole saga. Tas Racing giving the 4 trainers named in the Murray report a chance to plead their case or be banned. The controversial racing figure among those asked to respond to a show cause notice.
Consider submissions under show cause, should they be received, and should they not be received, then Tas Racing does intend to issue warning off notices.
Following a Supreme Court ruling late last week, allowing Tas Racing to take disciplinary action against him.
Ben Yole should not be racing. He shouldn't have been racing since December last year.
Racing Minister Jane Howlett says she's hopeful the shake-up will enhance competition in harness racing, but there are doubts.
So this is an industry which is based on a profit motive, and we have to have an integrity body which is strong.
Tas Racing says its board is set to meet this Friday to formally review the show cause submissions that it receives over the next few days. The harness racing code also receiving a facelift. New rules mean horses trained by the same trainer can't make up more than 50% of starters in any race field.
The changes are absolutely necessary to create a non-monopolised industry, and it'll make everything a lot fairer and bring a lot more people back into the game.
Ben Yole says he's at a loss to understand why the further show cause notice has been issued, while a stewards panel is still considering his future, adding the new equity rules are aimed at him and a band-aid approach. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
A woman has been charged with assault after a 3-month-old baby was injured on the state's east coast. Police were called to a Triabunna property early yesterday morning where a portable cot carrying the infant had allegedly been flipped. The child was taken to Royal Hobart Hospital with minor injuries and has since been discharged. It's not believed the 36-year-old was known to the child. This year's final round of the Australian Rally Championship will take place in new surroundings, the Northwest Coast. It's hoped bringing the iconic race to Burnie will provide an economic boost to the region.
Snatching an iconic racing round from Launceston, Motorsport Australia announcing Burnie will play host to the Rally of Tasmania.
It's a beautiful place to bring rallying and some fantastic roads, so with the support of the council, here we are.
Organisers hope the shift to the northwest will provide a new challenge to drivers and co-drivers. Burnie's mayor, a former go-kart driver herself, is keen for her city to get in on the action.
As a council, we were unanimous in our support of this decision to entice the final stage of Rally of Tasmania to come here to the city of Burnie.
Look, you can expect probably up to 30 crews to come across from the mainland, converge here on Burnie, and 2 action-packed days.
Since 1968, thousands of rally drivers have taken on Australia's premier gravel rally competition. As the final round of the season, drivers will be hoping to clinch the championship title on some of Tassie's toughest roads. It'll be the first time Burnie hosts a round of the Australian Rally Championship in over a decade. Fans from across the state will be flocking to the northwest later this year to see the cars in action.
So that's quite a convergence on our city, so we're looking forward to the economic benefit that will derive.
Mark Zeta, 7 Tasmania News.
A National Independent Environment Protection Agency will be set up as part of the federal government's second stage of its Nature Positive plan. But Tasmanian Liberal Senator Jonathan Duniam says the move will delay projects like the tailings dam in Rosebery.
Under this new regime, with this new bureaucracy, we don't know how much longer it would take.
The plan also includes easier access to environment data for businesses. Truckies will soon benefit from an upgraded Brighton rest stop. Plans unveiled today as part of the federal government's heavy vehicle rest area initiative.
There was a severe lack of rest areas and also toilets right around the state.
What this program does is seek to provide truck drivers with the right sort of services and resources.
Construction starts late this year to be finished by May 2025. Eat Well Tasmania is serving up an opportunity for locals to share meals and mateship this May. The Share a Plate with a Mate campaign launching today, aimed at encouraging connections through food.
Eating our way to a happy and healthy heart, Tasmanians are encouraged to share a plate with a mate this May, an initiative by Eat Well Tassie aimed at cooking up conversations and uniting people through food.
Food is the connector that brings communities together, it brings people together.
Several events are set to run over the next month. Tasmanians urge to use the power of food to feast at work, community groups and local venues.
Any little thing that we can do to help promote good food, good connection, that leads to better physical and mental health outcomes, absolutely worth every effort.
It's also a chance to enjoy some of Tassie's best local produce.
We're incredibly lucky to live in an amazing state with an amazing amount of food.
Eat Well Tasmania has joined forces with other local initiatives, encouraging us to have tough conversations with friends.
You know, the weight of getting something off your plate is a really powerful thing to have and a powerful tool that we can all utilise.
Those with a keen appetite and looking for a healthy bite to eat can register at the Eat Well Tasmania website. Putting mateship back on the menu. Rebecca Gaidaneris at 7 Tasmania News.
A classic musical has provided the inspiration for this year's uni review. The Rocky Horror Picture Show serving as source material for the production titled The Rockcliffe Horror Show. This year's performers following young Liberals as they spend a night in Parliament.
Got a cast of 16, have been working for about 5 weeks now. And so with the review, we also write the show as we're rehearsing the show.
Possibly maybe some things about the stadium, you'll have to come and watch to find out. Maybe some things about our new football team, possibly.
The show kicks off in May with tickets available now. A rare piece of Tasmanian history is being carved up with a whopping 3-tonne Huon pine log hitting the mill. It's an increasingly scarce and sought-after product and comes with warnings it could be one of the last.
From tree to treasure, this logged and left piece of Huon pine is estimated to be 3,000 years old.
It's a beautiful timber and it has some really nice properties, like it's durable and it's also ancient. It's priceless really because it takes so long to grow.
Salvaged from the state's west coast, it's being sawed into new life, giving rare wood enthusiasts a golden opportunity.
Well, this is a pretty extraordinary piece. Normally you don't get logs that big and you don't get that much bird's eye in it.
With tree values climbing, a log of this nature comes at a cost. Today's owners forked out $21,000.
It's probably set the record for the highest price paid for a log in Australia.
By the time they're crafted into individual slabs and sold on, the price tag expected to top $140,000.
Highlights the fact that even the leavings from the last century basically are now worth more than gold almost.
A piece of Tasmania which is growing rarer, with experts estimating there's only 8 log trucks worth of Huon pine to go.
It's just very sad that so much has been wasted over the years.
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
This year's Cricket Tasmania Blast program far exceeded what was expected. More than 3,600 kids picking up bat and ball, giving the sport a go. Organisers say more exposure on the field is a reason for the positive numbers.
We've had some really strong success in our school programs, working across Hurricanes Blast Promo, which is a new initiative throughout the schools. We saw over 10,000 kids.
For the Cricket Blast kids, it was really great. It was not quite even, but the girls were up there in numbers.
With hopes the program will continue to gain traction in the coming years.
To basketball now, and the Jack Jumpers have announced they will not renew the contract of Jared Bairstow. He's played 67 games for the club since its foundation 3 years ago. Coach Scott Roth says he's grateful for Bairstow's contribution. And the University of Tasmania men's and women's teams continue their stellar run at the top of the UBL table. The women's side making light work of University of WA on court this afternoon, holding off a defensive third quarter fight back from the host to win 61-37. A successful trip also for the men, narrowly taking the victory 80-73. And how's this for close calls? Tasmanian motocross star Jed Beaton narrowly avoiding a competitor and escaping injury after falling off during competition in New Zealand. Beaton did finish the race but fell short of the overall championship title.
Good evening. Maximum temperatures were slightly below average today, with 19 as the state's top across Launceston, Devonport and Burnie. Hobart 17, 18 across Low Head and St Helens, Strawn 15 and 11 in Lyowini. Low-level cloud is seen over most of the state today, with some areas of cloud in the north. Further out, thunderstorms are seen about New South Wales and Queensland, with a mid-level cloud band sitting over WA. Tomorrow shows a high over the Bight, extending a ridge over Tasmania. South to southwesterly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots in the northwest, variable winds 5 to 15 knots elsewhere. Swells up to 4 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for the southeast coast and southwest coast. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart partly cloudy, 17 across Geeveston and Bothwell. In the north, Launceston and Devonport partly cloudy, 19 in Cressy. Burnie tomorrow partly cloudy, a shower or two in Strawn, Curry 17. A possible shower in St Helens, Swansea 18 and mostly sunny in Orford. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Thursday, showers about the west with light showers extending during the afternoon. Friday, fine apart from light morning showers about the south and east coast. And Saturday, light showers developing about the west during the day. Capital cities 32 and sunny in Perth tomorrow. Adelaide partly cloudy and a shower or two developing in Darwin. And currently Hobart partly cloudy and 13, Launceston 15 and Devonport partly cloudy and 13, and that's all in Tuesday night's weather, Lou.
And that's all your news for tonight. I will be back later on with updates. Thanks for joining us. Good night.